What's up everyone and welcome back to a video, this time on the Miata. In this video we will fix a broken mirror, or actually a snap bolt of the mirror mount. Yeah, snapped due to corrosion. You can see that clearly here. It just happened while I wasn't even driving. It was just sitting here, and yeah, the mirror was on the ground. We will fix that in this video, and I'm gonna go over everything that we'll need. Should be right there, everything, and yeah, let's do that real quick. Now the first thing that we'll of course remove gently is that little plastic. Just lift it up gently with a screwdriver and put some tape around it just to not scratch anything here. And next step will be to undo these two bolts here. If you have the correct screwdriver at hand. This place is a real mess. We've been building this little shed ourselves, and yeah, it's far from finished, but the roof is finished. That's good. I want to find a fitting screwdriver. Just undo these. And of course we will put some new screws in because those are really worn off. And this is the interesting bit here. Here inside you can see the rusty, or yeah, broken bolt. And the other half of this broken screw, of course, is inside of the mirror. Perfect. Now the mirror is a bit more tricky because we will need to actually cut around this little plastic trim that is holding the mirror in place. If you have the mirror out, we had to break the bits here. You can see that. We will later glue that back on with this chassis glue. So in here, there's the snap bolt. There's a square washer that we will reuse. I know it looks bad, but we will clean that. You of course need to get rid of this snap bolt in this bit. So clean the inside of that plastic dome and the outside. Also clean that little plastic dome. We of course also need this spring. Also pretty corroded. Okay, that washer was seriously tight, almost glued to this plastic. Now we need a bolt that fits through this hole.
Okay guys, you got everything off, you got the mirror off, you got everything separated. You need some new washers. For this we will use two actually, because you need a washer that's big enough to fit over your spring, which does look really old, I know, but it's still working. Then you need a smaller washer that fits your screw, your new screw. Yeah, let's reassemble everything. That is quite easy actually. You take your old housing or bushing and you just go right through it with your screw. Actually, let's put a washer there as well. So you take a washer, then you take your mount and go right through it. Don't forget this plastic cover, of course. That needs to go on there, because now we will take the mirror and put it right on top. The square washer, which does really look nasty, but yeah, we'll just reuse that because this is the budget DIY version. Take your spring and your new washers. Then it's time to throw this thing on there. Like that. And you can just turn it in slightly, or tension the spring from here on. A little bit of a problem is this plastic cover. This will get in your way when you want to screw it in, but that's why I have this long screwdriver, because right in there And then we, of course, we need a wrench to hold against it. Let me just quickly grab that. Now in this case, this is an 8mm, just like that. And you want to compress it to a point where it's still a bit turnable, you know, because you want to adjust your mirror, but you don't want it to just adjust it by itself. If you're going, you know, if you go hard in corners, let's just put it like that. So I'm just gonna go a little bit harder than that. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, now we got that done. New washers, new screw, everything's in place, the plastic's in place. And of course we have new screws for the chassis or for the door where this mount is going in. But first, the thing we need to do, we need to put our mirror back in. Here's the tricky part. You had to break this plastic off. So, meaning it won't hold anymore. Now what we'll do, we will use some chassis glue. I just got Tech chassis glue, doesn't really matter. This is kind of difficult to work with because it's that huge, but all these smaller bottles, they're also expensive, so I wasn't really into buying that. Don't try to go too thick, so something like that, okay? Now we'll just carefully put that on top. And here you can see when you put too much of it there, then it's going to start to come out of the edge, and later we'll have to wipe it off. I'm going to use a tape to hold it into position. Okay, make sure it sits nicely, and then you'll just let it sit for about 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I'm not too convinced about that part right here. That's fine. Yeah, and just let it sit like that. Depends on the stuff you use. The Patek says 10 to 15 minutes right here on the can. So we'll just do that, and then we will reinstall the mirror. Now once it's relatively dry, we'll just go ahead and screw everything back on. And that's it. That's how you fix your mirror yourself. I know it's quite a minor repair, but needed to be done here on the Miata. And if you're looking forward to new stuff on this car, for example that roll cage in the back and several other interior parts that are coming up, then stay tuned for that and subscribe to the channel. Of course, if you're new, that really helps me out. And then I'm gonna see you guys in the next video.